Hi, my name is Nariba Shepherd.
And I'm Justin Arnett Graham.
And this is Terms of Service.
Season 3 finale.
Is that hype enough for you?
That is that's teetering on the hypeness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's only gonna get hypier. Is that a word?
It is now.
Okay.
Because you said it, and
I said it, I meant
it. It is what it is. And I can't believe it because full fucking transparency, season 3 has really diversified this platform. It has amplified this platform. And I'm wildly grateful. At the same time, I'm still like, what the fuck happened?
I mean, legitimately.
So many things happened.
Yeah.
So many things happened.
It was like a long time.
It was a long time because we did like the live episode series. And
oh shit, that's all this year.
Yeah, that was all
dang.
a part of this.
Yes.
And then, you know, there were losses and, you know, scheduling and just all of the things, and
life
life
and capitalism.
Like life has been lifing, and I am again grateful but fucking exhausted.
I mean 110%.
Yes, because wow, like acknowledging the finale of season 3 of Terms of Service podcast.
Oh, what a time to be alive.
Insane. Because after this, it's season 4.
Wow.
What?
How did we get here?
How did we do that?
I feel like...
And what did we learn?
Oh, shit.
Let's do that.
Okay. I have learned that I am really bad at talking to people about the podcast. I'm good at the explanation and at like the spiel. Yeah. But whenever they're like, oh, how do you feel about it? I'm like, listen, the way my mental health is set up is that I enjoy everything that we do. When we're here and recording, it's great. But in my day-to-day life, I forget
that it's a thing.
Until like the Terms of Service like group chat starts blowing up. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is like all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that I also learned that the community of hospitality is a lot bigger and it touches a lot more places than you would think. Yeah. Outside of like back of house, front of house, the actual building that you're in. It's like the community be wilding.
Yeah, because there's a whole like culture around it, which is absolutely beautiful and amazing.
But what did you learn, though?
I feel like I've learned so much, but at the same time, like I'm not even gonna focus on the lessons that have been learned. I just really want to focus on the gratitude. You know, it's just like the DMs that we get on Terms of Service, the emails that we get, you know, via our online portal, has just been extremely reaffirming because, you know, Nariba,
what?
I mean, we just decided to do this thing, and then,
oh my God,
you know, Max has been so amazing. Max, we love you so much. Thank you. And then also like the documentation crew, like, which is so vast and diverse, and, you know, everyone that has stepped up and has supported Garnet in regards to this lens. It just has been a like gratitude in practice.
Yes.
That as I sit here and reflect on the guest and, you know, our amazing guests that we're going to introduce.
We're going to get into it.
Yes, momentarily. It's just dope as fuck.
Yeah.
That like we have actually been able to do the thing because I
work your ass off every day to make sure that this shit doesn't fall apart. Yeah, I know.
Just to make sure that I touch it every day. and it's nice to see how it resonates with different people throughout the industry. And for that, I'm grateful.
Yeah. I also want to take this moment to remind everyone that I thought that I was just going to be a guest when I showed up for the meeting to talk about the podcast.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, like burn my name to the ground. I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't want to. Yeah, but yeah, that's wild. That's it for me.
Yeah.
And now I have like built-in
and being like
homies.
stopped on like the street and being like, hey.
No, that's you.
Okay, listen, but also it's your voice though that people. Yeah.
That was like. Literally, I was having a drink with a friend at the California Clipper, and I was saying bye to Marta when she was there.
Marta Jean, the party
damn
queen.
Right, yes.
We love her.
Fly Honey's queen.
Yes.
Anyway, a guy sitting next to us was like, I know you. And I'm like, I don't know you. And I was like, oh, like I do work in the industry, blah, blah. And he was like, terms of service. And I made my way through the rest of that interaction. And then I walked over to my friend. And I was like, you need to finish your drink. We have to get out of here. Someone just recognized my voice. And I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, well.
But shout outs to you, homie, if you're listening. I just am awkward.
And I'm sure that they are listening right now.
Maybe.
And we appreciate them. And again, we appreciate every single individual that has truly allowed us to present a space for them to be their most authentic self.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's truly nothing better than that because we've gotten into some shit.
I mean, we're also going to slip in there, hashtag Free the Burp Season 4, about being your authentic self.
Yeah, that's entirely fine.
Just saying,
yeah, Marcus, please make a note of that.
Free the burps. Don't edit it out, Marcus.
Okay. Anyhow, for our season 3 finale guest, we have...
Who do we got?
We have Lance Watson of St. Della.
Hello.
Hello. Bring that smooth ass voice to the mic, okay? Because this is a whole ass vibe, and we have talked about it, and we have been trying to schedule it, and we have gone back and forth.
Listen, I understand.
And now, here we are, and this is a fucking moment.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
I'm glad to be in the finale.
Yes. So thank you so much.
I promise not to leave any cliffhangers.
Well,
I mean,
we love a part 2. We love a part 2. We love a part 3. Like we love all of it. So, I mean, I just gave you my introduction of you, but
the world needs my introduction of me.
Yes. So who are you?
So I am Chef Lance Watson, Chicago native, born and raised on the South Side. I am the chef owner of St. Della.
Speak on it.
And Francel Supper Club.
Speak on it, yes.
Man, I've been doing this for maybe like 6-7 years as a pop-up.
Real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Still kind of feels new in a sense, you know? I feel like this is kind of like, I call this my Reawakening Year, 2023.
Okay.
Just because like, I feel like in the past, since I started doing pop-ups, I kind of like been a little shell, did it rarely. And like this year, I'm kind of like coming out of that shell, kind of like doing more, talking to people more, putting my face out there.
Yeah.
Isn't that random as fuck when we got into the kitchen so that we don't have to be talking to people and now you have to?
It's a thing. Yeah. Like when you come from kitchens and stuff like that, actually like the crazy thing about like, I've come from coffee, which people don't realize. Like,
wait, hold on. Before we get too far down this road, what is your sign? Because
I am. What do you think my sign is? I'll go first.
I love this game. I love
what do you
this
think
game.
my sign is?
Because she's got a very unique percentage within this game. So
can I? Okay, I'm going to ask some questions.
Okay.
Can you ask qualifiers?
Well, we didn't talk very much before this because you're always like, save it for the make. So just wander around.
Yeah, because I sound exactly like that.
Oh my God. Okay.
Who's talking right now?
Do you like traveling?
In a sense.
Oh.
Okay.
It depends on the form of travel. That's what I would say.
I'm going to circle back on that because you sound just like me.
Oh, God.
So I need to know accommodations and method of travel.
I hate airplanes. I'll just put that out there.
Okay, so you sound the opposite of me. But yeah, so you're fine. Yes,
I don't
book a flight.
know.
Yes.
I want to say like Scorpio, but
Nah, I'm Aquarius.
Oh, you fucking weirdos.
People can say that. There's like, of course, we can never read Aquarius. Like,
yeah, because you're freaking weirdos. I appreciate
What's your
it.
birthday?
I'm January 31st.
That's acceptable.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Okay. That's a different
Aquarius
Aquarius than me.
Yeah, I know. You're a February bitch.
Yeah.
Girl, I know.
Yeah.
What was your
Yeah.
birthday?
February 11th,
Okay, sweet.
the day of infamy.
So I
my
shared,
God.
I'm Aquarius with my grandmother. Her birthday's the day after mine.
Yeah.
And no, it's not an it's a...
It's a problem.
It's like
it's a problem.
Is it one of these? The
I
Clash?
remember the last, I'll go off subject for a quick second. I remember the last family group chat. They were like, hey, it's grandma's birthday coming
damn.
up. Let's make sure we all get on Zoom to wish her a birthday. And I was like, aren't y'all forgetting someone? Like,
Oh my God. Well, they can't talk about you in the group chat.
well, it's a group chat that, because like my family's
Is
so
grandma
spread
in it?
out that we always Zoom each other. We do a big family Zoom on birthdays.
God
and
bless
everyone
you.
forgot my
Yeah, I
birthday
could not do that
was
with my
the
family.
day
Ain't no
before
way.
my grandma, because they were all hyped up about my grandma's birthday. And then when my birthday came, no one Zoomed me for the whole day.
Oh, I understand that.
Okay.
Oh, no, I got on grandma's Zoom with vengeance.
Y'all gonna remember me.
I ripped open a birthday card I got for myself. I was like, who is this from?
Oh my
myself.
God. Yes.
You know what?
Accuracy.
It's the Taurus moon in me.
Oh!
What's your rising?
Oh, God.
I can't remember. I just remember Bart was like, you're a Taurus moon or something. I was like, all right, calm down. What's next?
Oh my God. Listen, before you leave,
Valid.
we're gonna figure it out. We have the internet on our phones. I can do
chart.
it. Do you know what time you were born?
11 a.m.
Dang,
I
you
know
doing
what?
this.
I just put that out there for the world.
Right.
Everyone's gonna be like,
Everyone's gonna know
I'm gonna
now.
look up his chart. Well, they don't know where you were born, so just don't give them that information.
He almost was about
I
to.
was like,
But-
I think I said it already.
Yeah.
But you did start off in the beans, the coffee beans.
Coffee.
So tell
Start
us
off in coffee.
more.
Started off in coffee. At first, I hated it. I started off at a very popular establishment. I think most baristas start off at. Won't really say their name.
I think we get it.
Yeah. You know, the people that confuse Italian words. So I started off at there, and then I ended up randomly getting asked to be a manager of that place, and I was super young at the time. I was like, man, probably one of the youngest managers, and I did not know what the heck I was doing. It just kind of like that. I think it was just like me being tall just felt like I had authority instantly.
Yeah.
And at that time I was like,
I feel that.
I don't, these people aren't going to listen to me. I'm like the same age as them. They're not going to listen to me. But yeah, so I worked in coffee for years on and off. Ran over like a dozen different cafes, worked probably every job in the industry, because it was kind of like my goal was to kind of like open a restaurant or a
Oh,
cafe.
yeah.
and
I'm
do
still
this
playing
and
that game.
Yeah, I gotta get that game up for a long, like at least not for like a
You like
brick
the
and
game,
mortar.
right?
Oh no, not a brick and mortar, but I'm like, if I get to a point where I decide I want to do this, I want to make sure I know how to do everything.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like still on my journey of like bartending right now.
Lovely.
So yeah,
I just finished
traded.
my journey of bartending.
Oh.
I was bartending at a bar in River North right after I've had so many jobs. Like all my friends like, can you keep a job? And I was like, this is like my personal mission.
Well, let me just go ahead and say something, because when we were getting to know one another, the biggest thing that came up is just like, you know, you're an industry guy, and
You're an
when
industry
the-
guy.
okay,
Did you all did y'all fight?
girl?
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm just being fresh.
No, so it was so interesting because, Lance, to your point, people were like, oh, you've been here, you've been here, you've been here. And so when there is no through point, they're like, well, you just kind of like pop all over the place. And it's like, well, I think people are so conditioned to what the trajectory of hospitality is supposed to look and feel like, especially for people of color.
Yeah.
They're like, they're like, oh, well, you can't hold down a job. I was like, oh, well, actually,
Yeah.
I don't need another job. Okay.
Oh,
Just like there's way too much that is going on because, you know, there's trust there. There is, you know, it's very slim at times, but creative freedom, there's direction, there's leadership there, but like leadership on your terms, as opposed to being like, well, you could just be like a partner one day and all you have to do
is sell your soul and your first child.
Exactly, and be fucking miserable. And then one day you could just like, this could all be yours. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no, for real though.
I gave up being miserable at a job like years ago. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Like for me, I made it personally to the top of the industry. Like I was recently a general manager at a restaurant, helped them open 2 locations. So, you know, like, and a lot of people spend a long time trying to get to that level and say, I got to that level, stayed in it for a little bit, was like, fuck this.
Exactly.
It was like, fuck this.
And then some people be like,
not for me. It's not for me. And that was like the time when I was, you know, I put St. Della on hold during that time that I was a GM. And
because you can't do anything else.
No, you can't. No. You're working 60 hours a week, calls,
but
everything.
See, what's really interesting about that is that shit is by design.
Yeah.
It's not by accident. It is most certainly by design because it's just like if they quote unquote entrust you with X, Y, and Z, God forbid you have ambitions to do anything else because they will schedule you until you are blue in the face and they're like, this is just what it is. So to your point, you had to put a passion of yours to the side just to placate them. And then,
boundaries. Listen, I am now the queen of setting boundaries with work because I refuse to carry on in a world where our scheduled out time is iffy. Like you're scheduled till 8, but you know, it's
and
like...
that's something I'm so familiar with because like front of house, like that is just what it
that's
is.
The thing.
People are like, oh, I'm just scheduled to 10. They're like, the fuck you mean?
No,
it's just like, no, you're scheduled. Like you're scheduled until you're done.
No, absolutely not. I like in interviews now. I'm like, if you put me on the schedule,
she's interviewing now.
Well, when you sit down to talk to people about jobs, like in kitchens, that shit doesn't happen. But front of house, y'all like to talk to people.
No, for sure. I didn't know that you were interviewing right now.
Well, I just recently did because remember. I have a new job. I'm like a real bartender, y'all. I actually like do that. Well, I was really bartending before, but now I'm just at a place that is just a bar. There's no kitchen. So I'm like, oh shit, there's no offset. It's like all me all the time. Fuck. But in that sit down, I was like, I am like, if you schedule me to a time, I will stay till that time. If you ask me if I can stay longer, I will. But like, if you see that it's my out time and you're still feeding me tickets, no, hard pass. So like, that's a boundary I set because
I was so bad at setting boundaries back then. So
listen,
bad.
After 10 years of Michelin kitchens, boundaries.
Yeah. That's
boundaries.
That's the thing. Like, you know, obviously we're going to get into this like deep, dirty, grimy, and as honest as possible. But I just want to acknowledge the lack of boundaries that the industry places on their leadership and upper management that is not extended with the same courtesy to the labor force. Because it's like, oh no, you can't contact me. Like I'm going to, you know, New York. I'm going to, you know, overseas. Like wherever the hell you're going to. It's just like, oh, I don't know. It's like, oh, you were scheduled. It's like, yeah, I'm hitting you up because like you're my scheduling manager, and like, why am I looking at this? Well, I'm just like, none of this makes any fucking sense, and it always turns around in a way to where I'm just like, this is insanity. It's absolute fucking insanity, and that is why I am always being like, you have to spin it for yourself to justify your own boundary, right?
And I just feel like like I said, like we'll definitely dive into it. Like when I was a GM, outside of just not having boundaries and having to give up a passion, you know, being a black GM in an area like River North, they try to play you on salary, and I wasn't
play you,
and I wasn't going to play. Like I'm in the River North area, and I'm making less than every other white GM in that area. Like, so I had to kind of give that up and kind of just follow my dreams, follow my passion. And
question for you, though. Question for you.
This is good.
How did you know that?
Oh,
because there is such a there's such a taboo, and oddly enough, such a boundary of like not discussing, you know, your compensation, which is how this industry and why this industry is able to sustain itself inequitably, you know?
More
or
just
you could just
looking
also
it
look
up,
at it.
honestly. Yeah,
You
looking
can
it
look at- you
up
can look
and kind
at
of
it,
just
though.
knowing people who I've worked under and knowing and talking to them and getting like references from them and them saying like, this is how much a GM should get paid and this is how much a salary should be, and just knowing, because you know, like
And
Chicago,
you're like, and I ain't getting that.
I'm not getting nowhere near that, you know. And I wasn't working for, and I understand, like I wasn't working for a big restaurant group at the time. It was like a solo owner, you know. He was doing it, but I'm like, you got 2 restaurants in the River North. You need to pay your people what they're worth.
Yeah, because you got it.
Well, that's the thing.
It's not even about having it. It's just about like, if my credentials, if I'm coming in as your GM, my credentials show it, and I'm near all the restaurants. Like, if you want me to work as hard as the next restaurant and to promote your restaurant and get us up to that level, you have to compensate me correctly.
But
you know,
that's what
to
I'm
work
saying. I was like,
as much-
you already like you got it, and I feel like we always place, like we always place a very unique sort of like spin on it, right? Because it's like, okay, they're not a larger restaurant group. It's a mom and pop, like they only got like 2 spots. But I'm just like, I was like, these motherfuckers are out here paying 20, 25, 30 grand in rent per month. Per month. And it's just like, and you're telling me that like people within the black and brown community that have the credentials to oversee their business operations can't get a check for $60, $70, $80,000 a year?
No, it's
and if you're a black woman, they're gonna lowball you even more.
Facts.
So it's like,
crazy story, which I didn't know until I was a month into this restaurant, that the person that was training me, she was just a regular coffee manager. I did not know that they were playing her, telling her that she was going to be a GM, this and that. And they were just training me to be her assistant.
oh my God.
And they just didn't want to pay her. And I didn't know this until like I was deep into it already. She left. No one really told me what's going on. And I just felt something so odd about the situation. They was like, and I was like, all right, I see what's going on here. You know, so I do get that statement, like black women, they, you know, get lowballed even more. And for me, like, and I even felt a little shameful because I indirectly played a part in that without
you didn't
necessarily know.
You didn't know that.
I didn't necessarily know, but like when I did learn, I would say like I didn't do anything immediately because it was like too late at that point. She was gone.
Yeah.
I was like, I need my paycheck.
Yeah.
But I understood. I understood that, which I knew for years, that, you know, the system isn't worked out for us the way that it's worked out for people that's opposite our color, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And especially, and that's kind of what drew me or jaded me from the industry for a long time. And it wasn't just that last job. It was like little jobs I've had I always kept while doing my pop-ups that kind of displaced me a bit from the industry. Like I quit for like a year. Like I didn't do pop-ups for a year because like even like I did like an event with someone I trusted and it kind of like didn't go the way that I wanted, and there was like money issues
we can talk
and
about
this and that. And then it also made me feel like
But also for Aquarii, y'all like love a plan and a structure.
Yeah.
And when you go into a situation and everyone is not on the same page, the level of defensiveness about protecting your peace, don't act like it's not true.
Nah, I
wasn't acting like it wasn't true.
It just makes it harder. It makes it harder to not only do things, because, you know, like, I love doing things with people. I love collaborations, and we'll talk about that and all that. But it makes it harder to do those type of things. It makes it harder for
to be open to it.
Yeah, to be open to it, and to, like, for venues that have dealt with these shady people to trust someone, because they tie us all together.
Yeah.
If a black cook does something wrong, they put that on all of us.
Right.
You know.
Yeah,
it's such a shitty thing.
Because it does become harder to advocate for yourself as an individual, because you're like, this is what it is. And also, I'm going to take a quick moment
to talk about this drink.
Exactly, because this drink is
fabulous,
fire,
absolutely
fire, and it's almost done.
And it like
almost. I'm like,
you're like, this shit is over.
I am very grateful though for it being a honeydew situation, because I cantaloupe.
Okay, girl. Okay.
That's a you joke.
Okay, I know. I don't actually know.
Yeah, bitch.
No, it's not.
Run it back. Marcus, find like all of the bad jokes and just plug them in. I know we're not that kind of like show, podcast, whatever. But yeah, no. Do it.
That's fair. Well, yeah, we will figure that out in post.
No, we don't have to. Don't worry about it. Don't do more shit. It's
entirely fine. But so the mirror pond here, which has been crafted by the wonderful Allie Kim, who is here on behalf of our sponsor and partner, Ritual Zero Proof. And so this is featuring the Ritual Gin alternative. In addition to that, honeydew melon, jasmine tea, lime, and garnished with some melon balls.
Out of melon balls,
and you know what?
Delicious.
Well, the funny thing, it's just like this one ballsy ass drink.
Oh my
for
god,
a ballsy ass industry.
Oh my god.
No, you're welcome, bro.
You can't make fun of me. And
don't
then
worry,
you say
I don't
that.
have any dad jokes. So
are you about to? By the time you leave, trust me. This shit gonna roll off my tongue. You're like, people gonna stop talking to you.
Delicious.
We'll stop talking to you. But yes, again, thank you.
I like a drink with a snack,
so much.
You know?
I mean, it's a whole ass snack. But yeah, so Lance, I feel like we're kind of teetering around.
Yeah, let's bring it back in.
Yeah, no. It's just like
we always run away with that.
Yeah, no, but like let's make it direct. So one of the things that I want to talk to you about is the element of collaboration, which is really anchored in the ecosystem that you have built. And there are a few things that I'm aware of, and I'm sure that there are additional things that I know nothing about. I would love to hear you talk about how collaboration has helped diversify and elevate you as an individual, but then also for your brand as well, on both sides of it, because collaboration sounds great. It ain't always like rivers and fucking sunshine.
Yeah, so when I started St. Della, I started doing pop-ups probably 2018 is when I really first started doing
before
pop-ups.
The panini?
Yeah,
crazy.
2018 was the very first one. I was working with Smeal at the time, which is kind of this home-based cook app for cooks. I did my first individual, and this is before I even had a pop-up name. So with collaborations for me, it's the whole structure around my pop-up was in memory of my great grandmother, Francelle. And it was always about family dinners. Every dinner we had was about us sitting around the table. We weren't allowed to sit in the living room in front of the TV, in front of anything. And I'll also watch her.
You about to see us.
You're gonna see us. You're gonna sit at the table. But she would also feed the community. So any of my friends that would probably be over, we were little bad alley kids. We used to have like an alley right behind our apartment. And we always, my girl know like we're in the alley just hanging out. She know what the fuck
That's what I call
in the alley.
that's what I call my dad. He an alley cat.
Yeah, like,
he a
we were
grown
alley
ass man,
kids.
but he an alley cat.
People say I have an old
he
soul
ain't
because I just
never at
grew up
home.
hanging in the alleys.
Yeah.
He ain't never at home.
But she would feed everyone, and it was always me
Respectfully.
eating with everyone. So that's kind of like where the collaboration things come from. I would say at the beginning with me collaborating with certain people didn't always work out, as I mentioned like earlier, that sometimes it didn't work out. But I didn't want that to kind of deter me or kind of like, you know, make me think different about the collaborations. But I would say my first real collaboration was with John. He's a black florist here. We did you know,
I heard about this.
we did
I haven't.
we did was it Juneteenth? No, it was we
it
did a
was
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth.
Yeah, we did a Juneteenth dinner.
It's awesome.
Who I can't recall. It was a little while ago.
It's okay.
We did a Juneteenth dinner, and that was my first
Juneteenth
collaborator.
actually is about to move the date.
Oh, really?
To where?
August 5th.
What the fuck?
Yeah, there's no June in that.
Well,
Augustine.
Well, the only reason why I say that is because, you know, of the shit that went down in Montgomery, and that's
yeah.
it. So,
Okay.
so that's it. Like, I mean, it's not factual, and it's not been passed into law.
The folding chair.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Yes.
just
That's
like,
my next tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
See, because when you fuck around,
You find out.
You find
Direct
out.
correlation.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go.
That shit was wild.
Exactly. And we ain't gonna talk about it.
Jermichael Phelps.
And sometimes collaboration can feel like that.
Yeah, that was a collaboration.
I mean, that was a collaboration, okay?
But
With appropriate interaction and consent. Yes, because you fucked around and found all the way out.
yeah, that was like my first real collab was that. And that was my first real outside of food collab, which made me think I don't always have to collab with other chefs. I can always collab with different creatives. And it's always just a sense of community to me. And also sometimes it's just easier to do shit with people than by yourself, you know?
Well, and also it's like a new avenue of like inspiration, right?
It is. And I want to do that more. And that's what the new theme was now is me collaborating. Like I just collaborated or was part of the new illustration stock journal. We did like a dinner at Mars Brewery.
That's what I was alluding to. I was like,
I did that.
Talk to us about that. Because that's sick. And
I
also
love
shout out
that,
to everyone involved with that.
Yeah,
because,
shout out
like,
to Aaron and Ed. They're all like great people.
Yeah.
They
Ed from
found
Mars.
me.
Ed from Mars.
And from, yeah.
Hi, Ed. I love you so much.
Great people.
We've talked in the past. I will be hitting you back up.
I was going to be like,
I'm a big fan.
just if anyone from Mars is listening,
Feel free to
I'm
reach us
very
at
interested in you.
connect@termsofservice.media.
Love what you've been doing with the
Yes.
Ruby tiers over the years.
Those are my people. I got like
Hit
2
it.
more pop-ups coming up with them.
About to
real
talk about
soon.
that off mic.
I talked it up. But yeah, they found me. Aaron found me through that pop-up I did with John, the Juneteenth one. So when I said that was like my first real collaboration, because that one pop-up opened up so many avenues because everyone was looking for me based on that one. Because at the time, like there's a lot of black chefs, but no one was doing anything that was kind of aimed at the Juneteenth dinner and that scope. And also it was, which was crazy about it is when I did that dinner, that was technically it was like 3 years in of me doing St. Della. When I did that dinner, it was my last dinner because I was so burnt out because I was still working a regular industry job whilst doing this. It was kind of my last dinner, and then people kind of was like checking for me. Like I said, I didn't do things after that, I didn't do things for like a whole year. But people was like checking for me. It's like, hey, when you gonna do another Black History dinner? When you gonna do another pop-up? When you gonna do this? And I'm just like, I'm not doing shit. Leave me alone.
Hell yeah.
Leave me alone.
I feel that shit hard.
And I had just had a kid like right before the pandemic. My youngest.
You have a tiny human?
I have 3 tiny humans.
Why did you not start with that?
Well, I didn't know
with
that.
kids hard.
I had 3 times, but I had my youngest around that time, and I just was trying to spend as much time with him as possible.
Sorry.
And I just didn't want to do anything, but people just kept asking for it. And then eventually I brought St. Della back, and that's when like Stock Journal, and then all these like Chicago Reader Awards and all this stuff started coming in.
Listen, but you like leaned into it.
Yeah.
When Chicago Magazine wrote about me doing like, because I did hot sauce during the pandemic.
Nice.
As soon as they like Trini Zaddy, as soon as it went on that, oh my God.
Zaddy. Okay. I've been to one of your pop-ups.
Oh shit.
Where
Look
was
at
it?
this.
I can't remember, but you did like...
Look at this.
Okay, I know, because I know
was
that
it
name.
when I was doing Snack It?
Yeah.
So,
okay, so that's
Snack
you. All
It,
right.
yeah.
I'm a fan. I am a fan. What's up?
Yeah, as soon as Reader put out that article, everyone was like blowing my shit up. And I was just like, but I don't want to do this forever. And that was my whole thing. It is overwhelming.
Like when I was doing Smeal, I got known for doing po' boys. I was that po' boy guy. Now everybody wants to do po' boys, but I won't talk about that. I was doing po' boys in like 2018 till then, and people just like, I remember I was walking through, they did like a Instagram ad that was like blowing up around that time, and I remember I was walking through this street festival, and someone was like, "Hey, you that po' boy dude from Instagram?" And I was like, I do not want to go through this industry being known for just po' boys. So I think that and working kind of jaded me from the industry for a while until I kind of just like was like, all right, I need to kind of step it up and do more because I know that's what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
I know that's what I really want to do, and people need it, and I want to bring something different to being a black chef, especially in Chicago, because there are some great black chefs in Chicago, but there's not a lot of independent ones. There's not.
I mean, if you let the current media landscape of Chicago tell you, it is a handful of the exact same black chefs that represent such a diverse market.
And that's what I'm saying, like, it's so many more, but the ones that get all the light and the shine are just like a handful. The same ones all the time. All
and
the
they're
time.
fire. They're absolutely like
I mean, I admire a lot of them, but also it's like I think it's time for the smaller people to kind of get their shine, and they're starting to. They're starting to, and I'm hoping that like me doing what I do and me showing people that you can be independent. My pop-up page on Instagram, like I'm horrible at social media, horrible. My pop-up page on Instagram, like just my St. Della page, I have less than like 500 followers, and I'm like, that's not great for someone.
But also, it's not necessarily like indicative of what you're doing.
And it's not, and it was like,
and that's part of the problem though, because people will be like, oh well, if they ain't doing X, Y, and Z, then I don't believe that they're doing X, Y, and Z.
Which I was going to bring up to my point is that a lot of it's harder for someone like me who I've been nominated in the Chicago Reader 4 times in the last 5 years.
Okay.
Haven't won anything, but just to have that final nominations, it's still hard for me as a black chef to get a venue. It's still hard. I'm still fighting to get venue. I've been in the Chicago Reader, Chicago Reader. I've been in awards. I've done a lot of great things, been in illustrations, but I'm still, as a black chef, I have to still fight harder than a lot of chefs to get pop-up roles, to get venues, to get people to support me. And sometimes
everything is just an upward climb.
It's like, and especially if they've met their quota for like, oh, we did something for like Black History Month, we're good for the rest of the year. Like that shit is like, I feel like it's not a conscious thought, but it's like a subconscious thing. Like I've checked the like boxes that I need for diversity for this year. So like I'm going to move forward. I also realized that like during the pandemic, at its prime, I got reached out to do all this shit when I was like teetering on the verge of, I don't know if I want to go back to a kitchen because I had like just been an executive chef And I was like, I could do this, but I want to learn more. And I was like getting ready to go back to being a sous chef so I can continue learning from people.
Right.
And then the panini happened. And I was just like, I don't want to do this. But so many people that I worked with in the past were trying to like do things like pizza pop-ups and like Longman Eagles like Monday Sunday thing.
Yeah.
I was like the first chef that did it. And it's like, I was in a point where I'm like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like I'm burnt out and like nothing felt fun and like new and exciting because I maxed out on working in Michelin kitchens and like bougie shit just didn't mean anything to me anymore. And after that and like doing this, I like talk to people all the time who are still in kitchens and like they're like, how did you like get out? And I'm like, I literally didn't have a choice because I feel like if like everything hadn't happened, I would still be like in the fucking rat race.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have like done Trini Zaddy or like got the opportunity. The opportunities, but like.
But I feel like when you're like a Black creative or a chef or whatever, I feel like you are expected to stick to a certain like strategy or guideline,
It's
and
very
you're
much
not
stay in your lane.
stay in your lane type situation. Like you have to do something for Black History Month. You have to do something for Juneteenth. You have to represent. And for a long time, like when I started saying Della, August 5th, gotta bring my chair.
Yeah.
When I started saying Della, it was like right now it gets classified as like
And
a
let me
Creole
clarify, yes, it's
thing.
Saint Della because I said Saint Della earlier.
It's
Maya,
Della.
but it's Della.
It's Della. Della.
Like De La Soul.
De La Soul.
Nice.
Yeah, like Della. So
There we go. Me, myself,
when I first
and I.
started, we were doing pizzas. It had nothing to do with Black culture. It had nothing to do with Creole food. It was that I bought a pizza oven. I was bored, and I watched a YouTube video and learned how to
And
make.
you're like, I'm about to fuck it up. You're like,
And I went and did this pop up, and we did pizzas, and that was the first thing. But then people still remembered me from the past before I started saying that.
And they're like, why are
I
you
was doing
doing this
po'
now?
boys. They was like, why are you doing this? Like, why don't you bring back the po' boys? And I got requests to do po' boys. I kind of got stuck in that lane, and it was kind of like it jaded me for a while because it was like, I don't want to be known for Black food or soul food. Like when they were like people try to label my food to say, oh, it's soul food, it's this food. I was like, no, it's my food. It's comfort food. It could be comforting, but it doesn't have to necessarily go under soul food. And I had to sit and think like, why do I hate? Or why did I hate having to represent being a Black chef? And I thought about it, and once I did that dinner with John for that Black History Month, it kind of reignited my love for cooking, and I remember why I was doing it.
Yep.
And I wasn't doing it because I want to represent, the Black culture or anything like that. I was doing it because I love to do it, and it was representative of my grandmother.
Yeah, that's the thing.
She was the reason why I started it, and I had to think. So, like, when I go into doing these pop-ups and when people ask me, like, my explanation of, like, why I do things and why I'm doing it in a way that I want to respect my traditions that I've learned, but I want to modernize them and shape them into my own thing.
Absolutely.
And you could and still represent the culture and show that it's very different. It's very like even Black cooking is diverse in itself. It can go. It reaches so many. It could be Cajun. It could be Creole. It could be West African.
It's not just mac and cheese.
It's not mac and cheese. It's not collard greens all the time. Like, and you can take those and you can reshape it and you can redo it and you can still respect it. But my goal.
Shit is fire though.
Yeah, my goal is just to not be boxed in in like a certain category. Like I had a popular cooking competition show reach out to me, and I declined it because they asked me to be in the soul food episode.
Listen, okay.
So they was like, would you clarify your food as soul food? And I was like, not really. I would like, I can cook soul food. I've known it.
Right.
And
so one
Is it triple G?
really
no.
Okay.
Really, really quickly. The one thing, and I know that we're moving towards it, but I also want to open up this specific line of dialogue because we're we're headed towards, like equity, right? But the fact of the matter is, it's just like black and brown people need to facilitate creative ways to create their own equity systems, right? And so for you to say, I'm not gonna be placed in this lane because I know what that looks like, because that is what y'all have always done. It's just like that decision in and of itself, and that communication is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because then it just like it opens you up to a different sort of dialogue and a different perspective. Because unfortunately, people are like, oh yeah, this is great. This is like they see me. It's like they're not seeing you at your greatest kind of like evolution and your greatest potential. They see you as to how it kind of checks an equity box for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna say, like, the person that showed me that black people in the industry don't have to like follow a certain route is the homie, the one and only Maria Russell. And I love her so much. But she's like, she did something that like I never thought you do as like a chef in general, but like as a black chef and as a black woman. Got a Michelin star, left the industry in that capacity. And I was like, fuck around and find out. That's how I feel. And like, she just wants to be happy and is trying to find, and like for the most part has found something that makes her really happy, which is working for herself at her own pace and like making sure that everything she does is with love. And like, that's a lot of like restraint and power. But because I'm like,
it takes
an
a
unsupervised child.
It takes a lot to give up structure. Like I say, like
I need structure.
When I gave up, when I gave up being a GM and having to set salary and knowing that I'm set, like even though the salary sucked, but I knew what I was expecting, just to give that up and kind of just throw myself into the wild, chasing what I had to chase. It's hard to do that sometimes, and sometimes it'll make you want to like give up and not do it. But it takes a lot of courage and like have passion for what you love to kind of do that. So I respect someone getting a Michelin star and be like, I got what I wanted, or I got what I'm out this bitch. I love it. Like for me, like I'm not saying that.
Yeah, like I will, in the words of Kenyatta Forbes, I'm a pop out when I want to pop out.
Yes.
Exactly. Like I'm not saying like I don't like, even for me, like I don't know. I've done so much different things across the industry. I don't even know if being a chef is going to be like, I don't know what the longevity is for me, because there's so much I want to do. Like I worked in coffee for years. I've always thought that I was going to do coffee. I've worked with liquor. I've like done cocktail programs for a lot of different bars and stuff. So I always thought I was going to work in liquor too. It's just like, for right now, being a chef and the food is what's sticking to me for now, but that can always change. And I want to keep myself open to that change.
I feel like the thing with that is that previous generations have set it up that careers is the thing. Like you have to like have a career and stick with it for a long time. But the way the world is set up now, it's like, before in the past, they were like, you can do whatever you want. And now that we're literally doing whatever we want, they're like, y'all are hard workers and y'all can't commit to anything. I'm like, y'all wanted us to be whoever we want to be.
Yeah. And like, I'm not worried about like the industry. Like, I'm going to chase this till I can, because I've been on culinary agents. They always hiring. So I know
Oh my God,
these people can't keep people.
Exactly.
It's like, I'll go back to it whenever. But I mean, back to like what you were saying before about like just collaborations, all that. Like it all came down to basically being with my grandmother, being at that table, and keep bringing people together. Because that's all I like doing things. Like I'm very socially awkward. Like people can't tell. Like I hate talking. Like when I like started doing these pop-up.
great.
Oh, thank you. This is kind of like my second podcast I've ever done in my life. So I gotta get a little used to it.
This is like what, hour 50 something?
Yeah, see, you guys are professionals at this right now. You know,
A professional.
even me seeing the microphone, I start sweating. I'm like, oh, what am I going to talk about? But it's kind of like you get used to it. Yeah. You get used to it. Like, especially because when. Like, I guess we'll get down to like, so St. Della isn't like my only one. Like, I just launched Francel's Supper Club, which is my grandmother's supper club. And the first dinner, anytime I do like these private dinners, I do eat to learn concept where every dish has a story behind it.
I love that.
We just
How
did
black of you.
Yes.
I love it.
I know.
No, because and also, unfortunately, it is wildly fucking necessary.
Well, because you gotta
teach.
Yes.
They're trying to erase our history,
Yeah,
you know, so we
110%,
have
like,
to.
not acknowledge like
Yeah.
our shit at all.
No.
At all.
At all. I mean, it's not even that they're trying to not acknowledge, they're literally trying to erase
Pass it
our
over.
history. And I feel like
Right.
it's up to anyone who's a black leader or black creative to keep that history going. Like I said, respecting tradition, but also building your own culture around it as well.
Oh yeah, for the last week I've been playing soca and reggae and dancehall at both of my jobs because Trinidad's independence was the 31st. Shout out to the Republic of Trinidad and
Shout
Tobago.
out.
You made it. But like and people are like, oh, this is like so this music is so fun and interesting, and I'm like, let me tell you the story about it. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's always, you gotta have a story. But yeah, eat to learn concept, always about storytelling. It's about just telling black stories. Yes, this drink is fire. It's about telling black stories and just keeping that tradition alive. And that's kind of just, and me want to have other people tell their stories. And that's kind of where the collaborations come from.
is there like cumin or coriander?
Yes.
Coriander?
Because everything that you just mentioned, it seems like it is a product of an inner reflection, which
Yep.
is the name of this
Oh
beverage.
my goodness.
So yes, absolutely. So inner reflections, again, prepared for us by Ali Kim of Ritual Zero Proof, is featuring Ritual Tequila Alternative, pineapple, coconut, Thai basil, lemongrass, lime, and it's garnished with pineapple, fawn, and cumin.
Oh, shout out to Allie.
Yeah, I was like, Ali, I was just like, doing the damn thing.
Doing
So,
it.
Thank you.
Goddamn.
And been fashionable at it. I love the hat.
Yes, it's like it's a whole it's a
whole vibe
It's a
in
whole
here.
ass
It will
vibe.
also be 93 degrees out at 3 p.m. this afternoon.
I'm going
so
on a
it's
boat,
practical.
so-
You on a boat? God dang.
You're gonna drive the boat?
No. They don't want me driving the boat.
Okay,
It's gonna be too many toss and turns, so I'll drive the boat.
that's their loss, So, I'm like,
Damn.
you do what you feel,
That
okay?
drink is good as hell.
That's exactly
Fire.
how I feel. But yeah, no, this is delicious, wonderful, and I know we've said this quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite delightful
Yes.
throughout season 3.
Delightful.
Is that like a segment? It's a delightful cocktail
I
segment.
like to use the word delightful to
Delightful
describe
is
things.
just like, but
It's a very
when
casual
it's
conversation.
fire, we try not to be like, oh yeah, that shit was like fucking amazing. We're like, it's delightful because
Yeah.
we're being recorded and people will hear this, and we don't want to sound like.
I mean,
we don't
I'll
know
say
what's about
shit's fucking fire.
I mean, it's fucking fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fucking fire. So, but it's also for those that, have the earmuffs on. Delightful too.
Oh.
Sorry, Mom.
Oh, Sharon would never.
Oh, sorry, Dolores. Also, she would never.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's my grandma's name.
Dolores.
Yeah.
This is a longer pause than what I
I
intended,
know.
but yeah.
Y'all were really feeling the moment. I feel like I'm gonna ask a really annoying question.
Okay.
Like, what
Lance
do
is like,
you?
let me know.
What do you? I don't even want to say what do you see for yourself. What are your expectations for yourself in the next like couple of years?
Man, I mean,
And actually, let's shorten part of that to like the next year.
Yeah.
the next year,
Or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, I've been going back and forth if I want like a brick and mortar. I I think I do want to, because I want to be able to combine coffee, food, liquor, all into one kind of like smallish, not too fancy type of situation. But it's really to, over the next year, is really to just to do more collaborations, to teach, also to learn more myself, just to get better at my craft, to communicate more as well, to be a lot more open to talking and doing all these different things, and kind of just make it like a household name, you know. And it's like, even for me, like, even though I've been doing this for about 6 years now, I'm still honing my craft. I'm still learning about who I am. Like, I have a sense of who I am and what I want to do, but I'm still learning. It's still ever changing. And that's just kind of like what my focus is now. Just kind of just to grow it. And like, and one thing that's, I guess, is cool about my pop-ups, like all the people that I hired under me, all the people that work, shout out to my team right now, David, Karina, Devin, outside of my boy Devin.
Oh, I love the name drops.
Yeah, those are my people. So I can't do it myself, you know? Outside of Devin, who's like my best friend / my first, honestly, culinary mentor for a while. Everyone who's ever worked under me has never done pop-ups, has never done anything in the industry, and they all come to learn from me. So it's about me being able to pass the torch in the next couple of years, and to just like teach as much as I can. Open lanes, you know, like when I with my team, I'm like, hey, I don't have to be the one to come up with all the food ideas. Like, if there's something that you want to do, let me know and we'll do it. You know, and that's like
the best way to teach and inspire.
Teach, inspire, and be like, hey, you know, one day I want to, you know, it might be a time where I might want to be, I just want to chill and hang back, and I want to leave this pop-up to them and be like, hey, you guys go out there, you go run the pop-up. You don't need me. I'm going to just chill, maybe get my 1% or something, you know.
And that, in a sense, and that's is generational wealth.
And that's what I want to do. And, you know, have something that, you know, like my youngest, like when I was in the stock journal and it was like an actual paper illustration, like he would turn to the page that has me on it and be like, hey, this is my dad. You know, like, so I want to leave something like that to them, and just to represent, you know, like I grew up on the South Side. I grew up in like probably I traveled between some of the worst neighborhoods, and you grow up kind of knowing that you might not make it out of past high school sometimes, based on some of the neighborhoods that I lived in, and that's kind of instilled in you. And for me, it's for me just to kind of show people from my neighborhood, or people that's younger than me that want to be chefs, or feel like they want to, even outside of this being chef, if you want to do anything like Black youth, I'm all about just showing them that there's a lot out there that you can conquer if you just take the time to like believe in yourself and just go out there and just do it, and just don't take no for an answer. Like, you know the old saying, one door closes, another one's open. I'm like, fucking, I'm kicking in doors if I have to.
I'm climbing through windows.
Just everything, you know? And that's just kind of what I see myself and my business going forward in the next couple of years. Like, I don't want to run St. Della in the next couple of years. Like, I want to leave that to someone else so I can focus on just the supper club concept, you know, and just do those dinners where I can, you know, learn more about my history and the history of African American food, so I can continue telling these stories and creating these dishes and creating these inspiration, you know?
So if I may, one thing that keeps popping into my mind as I hear you speak about this specifically is just like education as sustainability. You know, it's just like it's something that you're like, obviously you're passionate about the business, but then you're extremely passionate about the education that you're acquiring, but you're also sharing it to empower those that are active within your ecosystem. And again, like I'm not going to shy away that, you know, this is a very black and brown conversation right now. You know, and I think that that's really important for people to hear, because it's hard for people to find their place within that, because education as a form of sustainability doesn't traditionally lead. You know, it's always like, well, yeah, you can, like, you know, ask the questions. We have no problem. It's an open door policy. It's, you know, whatever sort of corporate bullshit or, you know, business framework. But I mean, that really matters, because it not only assists your journey, but it also provides you the direction within it. Yeah. As well.
I mean, because we came up, like, I mean, I'm sure I can speak for everyone here. Like, we come up in the culture of gatekeepers, you know, where people don't want you to get, you know, advanced. No one wants you to advance if you're under them. You know, no one wants to see themselves surpassed. So we come from an industry of gatekeepers and people who don't want to open doors, especially to Black and brown people. So we had to create those doors ourselves.
And that's
and
what
it's
I
out to us, the people that are creating these avenues, to make sure that the people behind us, the youth behind us, and people that's the next generation behind us has that same opportunity that we have. So they don't necessarily have to kick the doors in themselves, because we already did it for them. And that's just kind of like how, I feel like that's how Black culture and community is in general. You know, the people, the generations ahead of us kicked in doors so that we wouldn't have to, but we still have to do it. You know, like we still have to do it for our generation.
Respectability politics plays in a lot to how we create those avenues, because the standard as it is definitely like not set up for us. And my whole thing was, even for hiring people, I wanted people who wanted to learn as much as possible, but I also felt like they have the ability to be better than me, and training them to take my job. Like, that's what I wanted. I'm like, I want people with that energy who's like, their trajectory is moving forward. It doesn't have to be linear. But like, if you want to learn and you want to like do my job, I will teach you how to do that to the point that you take my job. And I mean, like,
that's where success comes from. Yeah. I mean, that's where success comes from. It comes from like when you're that leader that's, you want the person under you to be able to take your role. Because like, you're only as strong as your team. You know, as I would say, in any type of situation, no matter if it's food, if it's art, if it's like whatever, you're only as strong as your team. So like, if my team isn't learning, then I'm not teaching them, those bricks of that foundation are just going to crumble. Your
fundamentals are gone.
Everything's going to just come down. Like, I can know as much as I want to know, but if I'm not teaching the people that are helping me the same way, and as you're saying about creating those lanes or something, I feel like the lanes were already created for us. In two different ways. It was created for us by our own people, our own culture, and it was created by the opposite people, you know, and it's
the white people.
Yes. Those people.
I almost thought you were going to say the ops.
The man.
I was like, damn, not the ops.
The ops. And I feel like us right now in our generation, we're like right in the middle. Like, our road is like that ziggy zaggy road that like leans into like the previous and like being respect. We're like, you know, like I said, respecting like the past, but also learning that those have, you know, they have their own set of boundaries. Like, the generation that's older than us are sometimes stuck in their ways, and they have their own set of rules and that they want us to kind of like follow. And I've learned that not only within my family and just having a bunch of older aunts, you know, like, so one thing I would say, I grew up around nothing but women. Nothing but women.
You're welcome.
So it's me and my brothers. So I have three brothers, two younger brothers, myself, and then we have
you
8
got brothers?
sisters.
Sorry, I was just dragging you for not saying you got kids.
Well, I have 8 sisters too.
God dang!
So 8 sisters, 2 brothers. Household of women.
Okay.
All the time. So the lessons I learned from them are a lot different.
Listen to this episode.
Oh, my grandma's gonna definitely listen. Anything I put on, she's such a proud grandma. Anything I do, but she also doesn't let me cook. So we'll get into that on a different story.
That's also my mom, and my mom is 7 out of 15.
Ooh,
so god dang.
Yeah. So it's a lot of women. So learning respect at a young age was crucial in my household, and doing things in a certain manner is crucial. Like I said, like when I said my grandmother wouldn't let me cook, to this day, culinary degree, pop-ups, semi-known and shit. Yeah. I walk into her kitchen, she still claims I'm not good enough to do anything that she does on that stove.
Shots fired.
I love you, Grandma, though.
Yes. So question about that, because that's similar to how I grew up, and as I became older, I then wondered if it's just like, because it's such a form of care and such a form of love, to where it's hard for them to let that go, because they want to do it for you. Mm-hmm. And at a certain point, it may seem to them as if you don't need them any longer because you can do it for yourself.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like,
whenever Sharon comes to visit, I'm like, you're cooking everything.
Well, because also that's amazing.
Yeah. But
because that's the same thing with my mom, but my mom never let me cook. Ever. Like, she just would not have it. And now, as like a full grown ass man, it's like, I want my mom to cook for me, not like I
That's
do.
What I'm saying.
I do because also, like, I can throw down like her.
Yeah.
But I can throw down though.
You can throw down.
I can throw down, but it's different. It's different. Like, because like it's so generational, right?
Yeah.
It's just like,
I think I'm also like trying to like build a memory of all of the like flavors and stuff.
That's the thing.
So I want her to cook for me, but also like, I just appreciate anything that I don't have to cook for myself. I will literally eat anything except for black eyed peas. Don't come for me.
I think we talked about this exactly. I was just like,
it's a texture thing. It like makes my mouth feel weird, and I don't like it.
We gotta be like one of those. What's those?
Make some black eyed peas, like fucking pills.
Take her black card away.
Revolt. Exactly, revoked. I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
Caribbean island. What? That's black as hell.
But you don't eat them black eyed peas.
But you don't know black eyed peas. What are you talking about?
Not even in hummus form,
no.
like black eyed pea hummus.
It's not the flavor, it's the texture.
So you don't like any type of bean?
No, I do like all beans. It's literally black eyed peas.
Okay,
it just coats my mouth in a way that I don't understand. And I don't like it.
Lance, you have to come back for part 2.
Yeah,
don't come for me, internet.
If people could see my face when she said she does not eat black eyed peas, there's there's certain things I don't eat, but there's for like good reasons.
Listen,
I don't like pickles.
You don't like pickles?
I don't like pickles. I don't fuck with pickles.
Is your gut health strong?
I drink kombucha.
Okay, whatever. That's acceptable,
but
I guess.
I like pickled things, but I don't like pickles. Like dilly
so you don't
pickles.
You don't like cucumbers?
No, I don't.
You don't like cucumbers like that?
I eat cucumbers, but I don't like I know, it's weird.
I like peanuts, but I don't like peanut butter.
That's weird.
That is weird. And
That's
also
weird.
peanut butter was discovered
reverse.
by...
That was reverse. I like peanut butter. I don't like peanuts.
So you don't like crunchy peanut butter? Is that?
She having a...
I'm choking on the blasphemy.
I was just like if someone gave you chunky peanut butter, would you like pick out the chunks?
I just wouldn't eat it.
Okay, that's all right. Waste of peanut butter.
Yeah, it's a waste of peanut butter because they should have never put fucking peanuts in.
All right. So note to self:
Yes.
no black eyed peas, no peanuts. Crunchy
peanut butter or peanuts.
George Washington Carver.
But also, my teeth are fucked up, so I can't have nuts and seeds. Remember?
Are you allergic?
No, I just have really fucked up teeth, and I can't eat anything that can like get lodged in one of the many cavities I probably have. But yeah, oh my God, y'all, I coughed so hard that I cried in one eye.
Okay.
God. It's I feel like all of the ancestors were like, You gonna choke on your words, bitch.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you said that with your whole chest.
Yeah, you
I
did.
know some black folks.
I know.
I felt a gush of wind when you said it, so I was like, the ancestors are like, they're not happy.
Yeah.
They're not happy here.
They're like, no. They're like, we ain't doing it. It's
My
not.
ancestors used up all of their energy trying
just to touch
guide
on it
me out of the
one
kayak.
last time.
Yes.
What about the texture of black eyed peas?
It's not the texture. It's the like, it coats my mouth in a way. It feels like, you know, when you eat something that has too much xanthan gum in it?
Okay, yeah.
That's what it's like. And I don't like that.
I fucks with it. Okay, I understand.
It's not the flavor. It's literally the thing that it does to my mouth.
Interesting.
It makes, you know, like when you drank too much the night before and you fell asleep and the way your mouth feels when you wake up in the morning?
No, I never had that situation.
Nice. Respectfully.
Thanks.
Do you know what I'm
love
talking
it.
about, though?
I also have a really
Yeah.
good alcohol to water ratio. My partner kind of hates me because she always feels like I'm like the party pooper. It's like, we're doing more shots. I'm like, I'm gonna just do water for now.
No, I understand that, and I like that.
I
And
rarely
Yeah,
ever
no.
get hangovers, so
well, I
I'm
went to
very-
college at the University of Vermont, and I drank
I'm not
like
gonna
it
get
was
into
my
any-
job.
Oh, no,
any of
But
that.
yeah,
no.
that's
Yeah. But also,
our listeners who know what I'm talking about. That's why I feel the way I do about black eyed peas.
that is
Because it's
that
the
is fair.
yeah.
That is fair. And
Whole
also,
segment on
you
Black Eyed
will
Peas.
never have to deal that way dealing with our friends at Ritual Zero.
Hell yeah.
So it's like to bring it
Plug it.
full circle. But so I know that we're approaching time.
It's happening. Yep. Mhm.
And I'm low-key emotional about it because it's our final fucking episode of season 3, and it's been such a journey, and I'm so glad that Lance is here. And
Yeah.
like, Nareba, I have so much
here.
appreciation for you and Max, and you know, just
We'll have to do like a
Gunna,
part
like, the
2
whole
because
thing.
I still
Yeah,
have
it's
so
part
many
2,
questions
part
about those
3.
black eyed peas.
Oh my god!
We gotta have
Oh my
like
God.
a whole segment
Oh
on
my
it.
god! Yeah, I mean, you know,
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, she's like, it tastes like polyurethane. It's like, well, what the fuck is really going on?
Like I'm chewing on fucking Play-Doh right now.
I whatever.
It's entirely,
I do what I want.
No, it's entirely fine. I just have one final question for me, and then I'm gonna kick it over to Nareba. But so,
I'm gonna be the innie and the outie. Yes.
well, then I still have to do the thing.
Yeah.
But you know, but yes. So, Lance, from your experience and your point of view, what sort of advice or guidance would you give to individuals or like aspiring chefs to really make their mark within the culinary landscape?
Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I wish someone, so a really popular chef friend of mine, Jonathan, told me at a pop-up recently, and I was saying like what limited me for a while and why I kept kind of being iffy about doing pop-ups and whatnot was that I had the fear and anxiety of failing or my food not being good enough or being scared to execute or things like that. And he was like, if you're not shitting bricks, then you don't belong here. You don't belong doing this. If you're not nervous or scared before you do something, then you shouldn't do it. So don't let fear and anxiety and worries stop you from just doing it. If you have like a product or a dish that you want to put on Instagram, but you don't know how it'll be received, just do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just do it, because at the end of the day, people can only say yes or no to you, and then you keep living your life.
Oh, 100%.
So my only advice to anyone out there who's trying to strive for anything or trying to make their mark is don't let fear and hesitation stop you. Just do it. Put your product out there, put your work out there, put yourself out there, and take, you know, what comes back to you with strive, you know, like take constructive criticism, take even non-constructive criticism. Someone says your shit sucked, you know, you don't have to get defensive. You don't have to sink into your chair. You know, you'd be like, all right, let me go back to the drawing board. Maybe one person hates it, another person might like it. So yeah, that's kind of just my only advice is don't let barriers and anything else like that stop you. Just put your shit out there. And that's what holds a lot of people back, is that they have ideas, they have products, they have plans, but they just fear what the reception will look like, so they don't ever put it out there. There's been so many times I had dishes and stuff like that I should have put out there on Instagram, or did this or did that, and I didn't. And then months down the line, someone would have something similar, and they put it out there, and I was like, why did I do that? So just put your shit out there, just do it, and don't worry about how it's received, because you keep doing it for this amount of time. Like, sooner or later, someone's gonna love it. If you love it, that's even perfect.
One of the
better,
best piece of advice I ever got from one of my former chefs was, as chefs, we make food that people want to try, and just in your brain think to yourself, it's good, they're gonna like it. You can't worry about what they're gonna do, because we literally are tastemakers. We make shit that people want to eat moving forward. So that's when I stopped stressing about it. I'm like, yeah, there's some things that were bad ideas. Pizza puree, Blackbird, hashtag never forget. But
pizza puree.
Yeah, it's exactly what you think. Imagine an uncooked pizza in a sous vide bag that we left overnight for 70 minutes. That was the problem. We didn't cook the pizza the first time.
Keep it.
The second time when we cooked the pizza, it was good. Think about it. What do you do with the pizza when you take it out of the bag and it's a puree? It's exactly what you think it is. Just put that shit in the blender.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was bad. But
see, I would have made a pizza Bloody Mary or something like that.
Listen, we talked about how that's the ultimate appetizer. If I went somewhere and they had a fucking Bloody Mary with a slice of pizza on it.
No one take that idea. If I hear anyone come over here talking about, hey, so pizza puree.
So you better put that shit online.
You better put it out there.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no,
put your ideas out there if you want.
Yeah. It's okay, so I'm going to finish this with just one anecdote. I was at my last job still, and we were talking about how Mountain Dew came out with a spicy, like a spicy Cheetos flavor or whatever.
What the fuck?
And I was like,
stop.
I kind of need to know. I was like, I kind of need to know what that tastes like. And my boss was like,
no,
why? And I was like, I don't know. Don't. Who am I to judge? Who am I to judge them with their flavor profiles? And he literally reminded me in that moment that I'm a chef. I be forgetting. He's like, you're literally a chef. I was like, you're the one who should be judging. I was like, I don't know.
It's like when my kids come up and they're like, hey, we want these Sour Patch cereal. I'm like, don't you dare. Just stop. Just
that sound lit though. Okay.
Sour Patch cereal?
Sound lit over here. So yeah.
Justin has 9 boxes at home. It's actually all he eats.
Okay, all right.
So if we haven't touched upon this in season 1 or season 2 or anything in season 3, I'm a child at heart, okay? Yeah, so you give me a gummy bear, it's a wrap, okay? You give me
it's a cereal version of Sour Patch.
No.
Okay. I
get it. I absolutely get it. However, I don't fuck with milk like that.
Oat milk, baby.
Also not that.
The fuck?
Also not that.
Oh.
No, can't do it.
Whatever.
Can't do it. But you give me all of that in a cereal bowl, done. So
yeah, I don't mess with oat water.
It is water. It is juice.
Oat water.
See, you're like, nah, I can't do it. I
think it was Lewis Black who made a whole joke about that. He's like, don't put your fucking juice next to my milk and try to tell me that it's milk. And I was like, but it is soy juice. Just saying.
Well,
this is it, y'all. Yeah. We gotta, because we're gonna start a whole new conversation.
You're gonna start a whole new conversation.
Yes. Because when you're standing in a kitchen all
from
day,
the top,
you're just you're just talking shit for no reason.
No, absolutely. Yeah. So as we close,
wrap this season.
Yes.
Finale. No.
Yeah. As we close, Lance, how was your time with us?
Oh, it was lovely. It's been, a long journey to get here, but it was lovely.
We've been looking forward to it, and we're so glad.
I'm so glad I got to come on here and talk my shit a little bit.
Yeah.
this is lovely, and drinking these drinks and
doing the things,
doing these drinks and doing things
in the bright daylight of Blind
absolutely.
Barber.
Blind Barber. Shout out.
Yes,
down.
shout out to Blind Barber forever and always for being our home studio. So one thing on my end before we do all of the things. So over this past season, not only myself, but people throughout the community have really kind of hit a wall in regards to support and resources. And I just want not only this season, not only this conversation, not only all of the work thus far, but to really remind everyone that tunes into Terms of Service, it's just like, this is your narrative, and we are simply very fortunate to be able to highlight it.
Yeah.
And if there are struggles that you're dealing with, that is something that we want to help amplify. And if there are curiosities in regards to how you take care of yourselves and things like that,
mental health,
because
stability.
It's not widely accessible. It's talked about quite a bit, but as we move into our next season, we really hope that the work that we have done thus far has empowered those to come forward with any sort of loss or struggles that they're dealing with, because we're in this industry and we're in this shit with you, and we're working to make sure that it is equitable and sustainable for all. And that is my big thing, because I'm just reflecting on, the loss that I've had over this past year. And I can truly say that, sharing space with, you, Nariba, you, Lance, Max being at the helm of, production has just been therapeutic. And I think it's really important for people to know that and to understand it, because we joke around and we do like all the fun shit. And we're just blah, blah, blah. Because
but this shit is work.
Yes, yes, it's work. But then also, if you don't allow yourself to process things and get to the point to laugh through it, then it becomes dark, it becomes lonely. And if we can continue to provide a direction and a light and a beacon, then I know that we're going to continue to be on the right path.
Even in the darkest of times, you can find a friend if you only look around and turn on the light. Harry Potter.
Okay, I was like, oh my God.
I was lost. I was like, I don't know who quoted it.
I was like, and there comes the reader to bring it all.
Dumbledore. You're welcome.
Yes. So, Lance, my friend, how can the people find you? If you want to be found.
Yeah, if you don't want to be found, I understand.
Okay, because if you don't want to be found, if you don't want to be found.
Instagram, my personal is Calvin Tamper, Saint Della on Instagram. Just look out for pop-ups.
Yeah.
French Sales Supper Club, we're launching one mid this month. We're gonna have a dinner. Just look out for it. It's gonna be some fun stuff going into fall and winter, and and this has been great. You guys are very great at this. Very easygoing. Very good at making guests comfortable, and you're doing the Lord's work. The Lord's work. Somebody's Jesus.
That's on period.
Turning water into ritual zero proof.
Gotta throw those sponsors in.
There you go. Yes.
But this has been a fun time. Look me up. I'm around
Well, now I feel like I have to come in, hang out with you, since you apparently have been to a Snack It pop-up and discovered that I am Trini Zaddy today.
Yeah. Just discovered. Never knew. I feel like you did like a fry dish once, or like some type of fries with like some type of sauce. I can't remember what it was. Where it was.
Some potatoes with some Trinidad.
Something. It was something, or like you did like a chicken
for
sandwich.
A long time.
And you did a chicken sandwich once too. That was really good.
We're gonna talk about this. No, it don't matter. We ain't gonna talk about that. No. We're not
Justin
gonna do it.
is still complaining that he hasn't had doubles.
Okay, I know.
But I have invited you
Cliffhangers. I left it
to cook for you.
Okay, so.
Also, my new apartment's very cute, so we should do like a gathering.
Okay.
And do the thing. I have a
Max
table.
agrees.
I bought 4 chairs that match. I have matching dining room chairs. Let's talk about my growth, okay? Just saying.
Yes.
But
so
it's not a bring your own chair party.
Right.
I mean, listen,
Montgomery,
maybe.
Okay? Period.
They ain't folding chairs, but I need to get one now because I got to represent for the culture. Okay.
Every black person needs a framed folding chair in their living room. Going forward, that's just the new wave. That's the new piece. That's
not a camping
I'm no longer
chair,
a plant daddy.
chair.
I am a folding chair daddy.
Your sunroom just has like folding chairs all around
colors.
it.
Yeah. Find Lance on Instagram just
folding chairs
Della
daddy.
oh my God, folding chairs daddy. That's going to be the name of our pop-up collaboration.
And look at that. See?
Look at that.
Connections.
Collaboration. It's all about community.
Collaboration. It's all about community.
You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
Yeah.
There you go.
Aw, guys.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I do appreciate you guys having me for the finale of season 3, and I just know like the rest of your seasons are going to be just great. Just keep it going. Like we need y'all here.
Just rambling on the internet.
Thank you.
We need this.
See? Nariba.
Yes. Is it time?
It is time.
Okay, so I guess if you want to find me, I'm still at Reawakening on Instagram, and I'm around. I be bartending, so let me know. I don't know if I want to tell you where I work though, even though everyone else did, but yeah.
No, they'll recognize you by your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
It's fine.
Take it out, Ger.
So, in closing of one dynamite fucking season, I would obviously like to give a supreme shout out to Blind Barber Chicago for hosting this necessary conversation. Also, our sponsors and partners at Ritual Zero Proof, because simply without them, we could never have made it this far.
Hell yeah.
And it has been such a phenomenal journey, and our growth and their belief in what we have been doing has been absolutely instrumental. Also, shout out to our friends at Corey Ice, because one of the things that I always believe is that one of the secret ingredients for a well-balanced beverage is the ice, and they cut their ice from a Japanese Japanese steel, which is the same steel used to make Japanese samurai swords.
See.
And they're also a second chance program, so that works right back into our commitment to community. And also, the entire fucking team that has like rode with us through this point.
Ride or die, baby.
Yes, it's just like it's Rick, it's Dason, it's Travis, it's Cortez, it's Alex, it's Daniel, it's Max. Max, thank you so much. We love the hell out of you.
Yes.
And
even
just,
when I want to fight you, I love you.
Yes, even when we want to fight, but it's just like it is.
I want to fight everyone though. Clarification.
Yes, but it is great. Just creative collaboration there. Everyone on the Garnet side, Ashley, Cheyenne, Jack, Ryan, Allie, who is here right now just on behalf of Ritual Zero Proof. It's just like all of these things that come together really show the power of community and what we can achieve together. And so on that note, I am just known at Graham, and you can find me on Instagram at thisisbiko. And do not forget to follow, subscribe, review Terms of Service podcast, because that shit matters.
It does. I'm sorry for laughing.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But to ensure that there's accessibility here, to really dive into what this looks like for the sustainability of the industry.
Yeah.
And we need your voices, because that is what inspires and pushes us. Yeah. And also, just the work that Not 9 to 5 has been doing, and bringing us into, their coalition, so we can learn more about mental health resources and share that with our community. It's all of these things together that has me so amped up and so grateful to have gotten to this point.
Oh, yeah.
So I thank everyone that has been through this journey with us.
Yes.
Because it has been significant, but it has also been so fucking fulfilling.
For real, though.
So.
And remember, come back for season 4.
Yes.
Because we will continue
the Fight Club.
Obviously Fight Club. But we're going to continue to fuck around.
Somebody turn off Lance's mic, okay?
Just remember that we're coming back next season, and if you're into seeing the trajectory of fucking around and finding out, which is how I feel every time we show up, we're like, we're gonna fuck around and find out,
and
come back and see us, or listen to us, or whatever,
Yes.
Podcast, listen.
Yes.
Can they watch us still? Sometimes. We have a YouTube.
That is correct. And you can find out about the YouTube when you follow us on Instagram. And on that note, it's a wrap. So peace. Woo!